Okay, guys, come on. Come on. It's afternoon chow, okay? Come on. Kitty keys. Got the whole crew today, don't we? Yep. Got Magoo. Spooky. Come on. Gracie. 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 Come on. Got another bowl there too. Come on. Gracie. Come here, baby. Let me check your eyes today. Come on. Come on. Let me see your eyeball. Yep, it's looking so good. See? Say hi to the peoples. Say hi. Come on. You can go over here. Yep, right there. Right there. Yep, got that little tail going. You happy, 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 happy? Yep. Oh gosh. Got Spook, Magoo, Crow, and Cleo. And Speedy, he's hiding under the truck. And I keep saying, and Speedy, like he's a he when he's a she. Yeah, I thought about Sophia, but I'm not sure that's what their name's gonna be. But anyway, there they are, having afternoon chow. The kitty crew. Yep. Oh, there's Speedy. Speedy, come on, baby. Why are you so standoffish still? Nope. Because I keep treating your eye, huh? You don't like that. Okay. Well, you stay there. Papa will back off. We gotta take a little road trip anyway. With the peoples. Okay? Okay, y'all. Enjoy. Papa will be back soon. You too, Speedette. Papa will be back soon. I'm leaving now, okay? So, what's old Mr. Tom been up to since we last talked to you? Well, been working on the old truck right here. You can see, turned in different directions. We're going to take a little short ride. And before the sun sets, below the trees. And we're going to chat a while. And yeah, the truck's dirty. We're going to work on that. Trust me, we are. We had to get her back going, fix the tire. And still got to clean out the bed. So all of y'all can jump on in there. That's the reason we got her back going again. So we could pile more of y'all in. Because we're supposed to be up in the 70s again next week. Okay? So let's take a little ride to a very special place. Now y'all, everybody be quiet, put your seatbelts on. Ain't gonna be far, it's only a couple of blocks, okay? Excuse me, windshield ain't that clean. We didn't get to that part today. Maybe tomorrow, okay? Now where we're going, we've been there before. A couple of times. But I really do enjoy it. And it's kind of peaceful. And like I say, it ain't too far from the house. Now I could walk, but the kitty crew tends to follow me. And the kittens might get lost. So, we're going to drive while they're eating. That way, they don't follow Mr. Tom and all of y'all along for the ride. And like I said, I do apologize for the windshield being a little bit dirty. At least it ain't cracked for those of you that bothers, okay? Like I say, it's only 2 blocks down the road, so this ain't gonna take long at all. Right down this little dirt road is my special peaceful place. And normally there's nobody here but old Mr. Tom. And like I say, a lot of times I walk on over here. But since all of y'all are along, we got a truckload. We just ain't doing that. Here we are. So, as soon as we get the truck stopped, y'all can all start piling out. There we have it. Yep, we're back over here at the Archibald Patterson log cabin. Yep. Oh man. Time to get out. Let's head her on over here and sit down a bit so we can chat. Now, if any of you have watched my really old videos, you'll know we've been over here a couple of times. And this is the original log cabin. Historians here say it was built somewhere between 1840 and 1845. I actually believe it's a lot older. And the style of the cabin is what they call the dog trot cabin. You can see there on the left and the right that big huge front porch. And that there's a center place that's all opened up. And that was a dog trot. I guess that's, you know, where dogs lay down. And that, but where we're going is on the back porch. And that. It's just quiet. It's peaceful. And I wanted to chat with you a while. We're going to sit here on the back steps. Now, if any of y'all would like me to do a complete history and tour of the place, yeah, maybe sometime I can get the city to open it up. Who knows? Most times it's locked up. But you can see, there ain't a soul around here but squirrels, birds, and a light breeze. And me. And it's starting to get chilly. About 65 degrees. It sure is. And we're going to sit on back steps, we are. Right here, looking at the sun. So, hello there, friends and family. Glad to see y'all again. And I know it's been a while. I think it was Monday when I published my last video. Showed you what we were having for breakfast when all of y'all came by. Those of you who couldn't make it. We had a passel of you. We surely did. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed cooking for you. And we're going to have another one of the cooking videos here in another day or so, I'm sure. What I wanted to come over here for, just not only to watch the sunset as it dips below the horizon, which is already below the tree line over here, is I want to talk about, you know, there's still all this here hype and sensationalism, especially here on social media, about how bad we've had it in 2020. Yep. And like I said, you know, we're either going to get wiped out by a massive earthquake, a meteor, COVID, which has been extremely serious for many of y'all in the community, as well as me and my family. And that, can't say it ain't. Some think it's fake. Some of us know it's not. And that. But then, small businesses are closing up at record numbers. And that's true. My son's own business, he's a small business owner. His business is struggling as well. Down to him and just one employee. And it continues on much longer, it's just going to be him. Hell, I may have to go down there and start working. Of course, he won't have to pay me. I'll work for free just to help him out. Yes, I would. And that. Give him a day off, maybe. Even though I don't got a clue about, what he sells and does, I can learn. And that. We still got a lot of people unemployed. Yeah, we sure do. And we got a lot of people, lining up at food banks. A lot of people getting those, what we call SNAP benefits, which are supplemental nutrition something program. Can't remember all the names for all the acronym, but we call it SNAP here. It's basically food stamps, which ain't stamps no more. You get a card and that. And I feel bad for all those people that are suffering. Business owners, workers, people that are struggling to feed their families. But then, when I'm watching these videos of some of the channels I still follow, and that I wonder, well, just how bad really do we people have it? Because, I live on fixed income. I can't go out there and buy everything I'd like to buy and buy frivolous things and store away in my pantry and all that. What I've got, it's taken me since, 2005, 2006, over time, to stock up. A little bit each month, and over time, every year, it grew. And that. But the reason I'm over here is 'cause right here. When this family came, let's just say they did come somewhere prior to 1840 before they built this particular place. I figure they were here a lot earlier than that. Even though Alabama became a state in 1819, it was Alabama territory before that. And then there was Mississippi territory to the west. And it got populated a lot faster for whatever reason than Alabama territory. But anyway, this is supposedly the oldest house in Tallahassee. But I love history. So I love looking into, like what people had and what they ate, their diets, reading old recipes, from 1800s. And what people had back then and what they cooked. And that, compared to now, it's a night and day difference. It's just like the pioneers heading west. And we had a half of a family, of my core family, leave Pennsylvania and head west. There was a disagreement, either back in the late 1700s or late 1800s, and that, where one brother wanted to go west. When I say 1800s, I mean, 18 something. Not 18th century, so let's clear that up. This was after Revolutionary War. And as many of you know, my core family on the father's side, and really my mother's side, is from upstate Pennsylvania. And then my mother's side, for whatever reason, her parents moved into upstate New York. I think it was for jobs with the automotive industry and that. But anyway, the two brothers disagreed and the family split. And one part, smaller part of the family, they did. They hooked up, booked up, and they went west. Never heard of again. The family that I'm direct descendant of stayed in Pennsylvania. Now, we didn't know what happened to them until, my father was stationed to El Paso, Texas. Yep, when he was in the Army. And like Daddy always did, no matter where we went in the world and in the country, he'd go to that phone book, didn't have internet back then or computers, and he'd look up to see if anybody had the last name we had. You might say, well, that don't mean nothing. Well, it does in our family. We're not Hines with an N. We're Himes with an M. Yep, M as in Mary. And according to the U.S. government, long, long time ago, may not be true now, but it was then, everybody with that last name was blood related. Yep, sure was. Don't know how they determined that, but they did. And that. It was quite a diverse bunch. But anyway, Dad noticed in the phone book there, not only in El Paso, but in other cities, because we do little road trips. Of course, Dad would have to stop at a phone booth. Maybe y'all might not remember phone booths. And him and Mama would get out, and they'd look in the phone book. And then they'd actually go by and talk to some of these people. That's back when you could do that. Just stop, go knock on the door, introduce yourself, chit-chat, things we don't do no more. Try doing that now. Nah. People don't want to have nothing to do with strangers. Now, I can't say that I blame them, based on how this year and many years before it have turned out. But the point being, people had it extremely, extremely tough back then in comparison to now. I saw here, like, since you can't stir up enough crap, now we're saying, it's worse than the Great Depression. Apparently these people didn't study history, because the Great Depression wasn't about a year or even 2. It was 11 years long. 11? Of course, most schools, they only teach you about 1929. Crash that stock market. They rarely even talk about another great disaster that happened during the Great Depression, which was the Dust Bowl that wiped out all the farmland in the Southwest and upper Northwest and the Midwest. Yep. Even places in the Southeast. It surely did. And if it wouldn't have been, in all God's truth, for World War II, we still wouldn't have climbed out of that Great Depression. Nope, sure wouldn't. Don't even matter about that New Deal. And you can go back and do some in-depth research and find that out for yourself, because that's exactly what I did over the last several weeks. I don't know why. A little small voice and said I might be interested in it. But that's what made me come over here, because over here, so you lived and died by not only what you brought when you start clearing this land, but what you would be able to grow, gather, and harvest from the land. Yep. Sure would. And did they have to worry about what was going to go in their salads, what canned goods they were going to have, frozen goods, all different meat, chicken, beef, turkey, what have you? No. No, I mean, what they brought with them was flour, bacon and salt pork, coffee, tea, beans. Beans were extremely popular. Yes, they were. Even more so than what historians give them credit for, I can tell you that. But that's a whole nother story about how I found some historic places here, around here. And that, and they had some rice, not much, but some. And that, very few brought livestock with them other than the team of oxen that pulled their wagons. Why? Because they'd have had to bring more grain and feed for any livestock they brought. And they were already having to bring a ton of food for each person. I think the recommended requirement per person was 150 pounds of flour. Of course, I sort of figure they brought wheat berries and ground their own flour. And that. Maybe Some did bring flour. More affluent people. Then about 50 pounds of corn. You ain't gonna feed many animals on 50 pounds of corn. And that was dried corn. And they ground that. So that's why I'm figuring they probably got wheat bears too. They ground them. Dried fruit. Like I say, dried meat normally would be salt pork for the poor. More affluent would have bacon. Of course, now do research on Google. Everybody had bacon. Yeah, well, that's more of a Hollywood myth than an actual fact. And that, just from remembering old stories from my great-grandparents and my great-grands before they passed. Hell, they didn't have bacon back when they were alive, let alone when they were settling the West or anything. And they couldn't afford it. And salt pork's a whole lot different deal than bacon. You just got a little thin piece of meat. It ain't got much meat in it like bacon does. It's salt. It's salt fat, basically. We down here in the South call it fatback. We surely we do. But that's what they had. And they ate things like parched corn. Now, I've never had parched corn, but apparently you roast the corn, whether that was over a fire or in the coals or whatever have you. And they said, well, no sweet corn, folks. This field corn, Dent or Flint. Yep, sure was. They had things like cornbread, corn muffins. They had things, like corn mush, corn porridge, real popular. And you can look up the old recipes and still see it. Yep. There's the Ford Archive, where you can look up old recipes all the way from the 1700s all the way up to 1980. Yes, you can. And if y'all good, I might have a link to that below the description if I remember. They had things like oatmeal and barley and rye. And their bread was way different than our bread. It was whole grain. And that. Their cereals were ate with different grains and water and cooked. Basically mush or porridge. Meat, yeah, they might have brought them some chickens along. But they'd have had to been starving to eat one of them chickens because they brought them along for the eggs. Bringing a herd of cattle, goats, other stuff, nah. That's things of movies. Things of young people write about. One reality, not for the average pioneer or average settler. You got to think about these poor folk, working folk too. Yep. Wanting a better life. Just like we're all wanting now. And that. But the more I got to thinking about, and I keep seeing all these videos just about how damn bad we got it. Let me tell you. We don't have it nowhere near as bad at any given time right now. I don't care what. As our forefathers had it at any given time. When they had crop failures, total ones, and they were looking at going through all winter on hardly nothing, where they might have been eating grass, foraging out of the woods, out of the pastures and grasslands, gathering acorns like you can, hickory nuts like we can here, and I'll be doing that here in a bit, pecans, wild pecans, which happen to grow in this area. Yeah, we got a boatload of them, wild persimmon trees. And that, I don't normally go deal with them. Leave them for the deer and wild turkeys. And they hunt it. And right here, in the woods that surround this old log cabin, there is a bounty of wild turkey, deer, squirrel, and not so many bunnies. And of course, no wild hogs yet, for whatever reason. They're down south a little bit more, below the river. Haven't ever seen a wild hog up here. Of course, we got coyotes too. And I'm going to tell you what, you get hungry enough, I'm sure they would have ate one of them too. Because we had them back then too. They're sort of come back now. And they eating ducks, geese. No, pheasants. Pheasants aren't down this far. But neither are grouse. We had dove. So, I mean, they hunted. And think about it. They didn't have no semi-automatic rifle or pistol. High-powered air gun. Crossbow. They had old black powder weapons. And if you haven't tried to hunt and with a black powdered weapon, you might want to go out there and try that sometime. See, it just ain't no piece of cake. Trust me, it's not. Extremely different from modern day firearm. Yes, it is. And they lived to provide for their food. They did. Oh yeah, they'd have gardens. Nothing like gardens we had. I mean, they didn't have like 30 different tomato varieties, 5 different varieties of sweet corn, all kinds of different types of cabbages and collards and what have you. No, because that wasn't all that was available. No. In fact, back in the pioneering days, when this place was built and before, they didn't have the ability to grow wheat this far south. Nope. It just got way too diseased and they died. Yeah. Now we can. And we have winter wheat that we grow here. And summer wheat too, but mostly winter wheat. Winter rye, oats, barley. Yeah, we grow that stuff. Not so much anymore. But some. Yeah, of course we grow corn. Alabama raises cattle. Yeah, quite a bit. Chickens. We got the market covered on chickens. Turkeys. Big industry there in poultry. Both chickens and turkeys. Yep. And we do a lot of veggie farming. More south than up around where I am. And that. High dollar crops. Tomatoes, melons, squash. People put things out there and make them a whole lot of money in a quick amount of time. So, with all that said, I know there are people out there that are struggling to feed their families. I know they are. But I know another thing we're all missing. And that's something I ain't been seeing from a lot of these social media outlets. They're out there, saying how bad the people have it. And then I said, well, that's all great and good that, you're showing how bad people have it. What are you doing to help in your local area? Huh? Are you willing to sacrifice to help your neighbor? Let's just say if we all went around just within, say, 5-10 miles of the house. I'll guarantee you I can go around here within 5-10 miles of this house. And if I had it, and I still may do it even though I don't got much, help people that have far less than we got. And I see these people that got big social media outlets. I know they're making a pile of money. And they ain't doing jack but scaring everybody, running with the fear and panic train. Why? So they can make more money. Maybe, and I know I'll catch a lot of crap for this, maybe they should be thankful for how glad they got it. And if they don't need what they make, maybe they should get in that little truck, car, on their nice new Kubota tractor, or what have you, and head on out and see if they can help families in their areas. And I encourage all churches to be doing that. And any of y'all out there in my community that have the resources that you can help. And I know many of y'all don't, because you're just like me, only so much money a month. Ain't a lot to spare. And I understand that. But sometimes it don't take much. Sometimes $5, $10, $20 can make a difference. Or at least in the short term. Yeah. But anyway, that's why I wanted to come over here to this old place. And after I'm done ranting and raving and talking today, I'm going to sit over here. I'm going to watch this old sunset. Yes, I am. It's getting in the trees. It's about halfway down in them. It ain't going to be long. I'll start to hear the sounds of the night. And that too is an enjoyable sound. Yes, it is. But see, I can come over here and I can think, yeah, there were times in our country, even though this is terrible, what we're all going through with this here virus. There were times just as bad, if not worse. And somehow, we as a people, we as a country and nation came through. We sure did. Somehow. Now that's not to say people didn't die. Oh yeah. There was a time when a pile of us died. Sure was. More than they're dying now. And this is bad, especially if you've had a family member, friend, or loved one pass. Now, so far, I've been fortunate in my family. And I hope and pray every day that the Lord will continue to look over me and my family. As I pray and hope for all of y'all in the community. And I do it every day. I surely do. Yep. And sometimes it don't work out the way I want. But I ain't got no pull or sway with the big man. I can just ask and leave it in his hands. Because in the end, if we've done all we can do, and that's, how I'm going to leave this today. If we know in our heart of hearts, in our mind of minds, that we've done everything humanly possible we can do for ourselves, our family, our loved ones, those close to us, and others that we know about, then that's it. But you can't fool yourself. You can't lie to yourself, because you can't lie to God. Nope, sure can't. You can think you're going to get away with it. Well, that just shows you don't believe and you don't have the faith. Because he knows all. Yep. So, y'all, didn't mean to come on here and be a preacher. I just wanted to share with you where my mind's been here of late. And that. And if you want to hear some of the history about this old place, I do have a couple old videos on it. Videos aren't that good. But I can redo you a modern day one, if you'd like. I surely could. And be more than glad to. Now, since I got the old truck back running, got the old tire blowed up and everything, and we can haul more of you, we're going to be taking a road trip. And it is to an historic place. One you'll never believe, probably don't know about. Hell, most Alabamians don't know about it. Let alone around here anymore. But I'll take you there. And we should be able to get 4 times more people in the old truck. If she holds together. And I think she will. So as always, y'all, since we're losing the light and that, till I see y'all in the next video, y'all take care. Stay safe. God bless you, your friends, your family, and your loved ones. And please pray for those in our community with special needs, those where we live, cities, towns, states, country, that God will protect them and heal them and provide for their needs. Pray for those essential workers. Pray for all in our planet and humanity as a whole. Oh, and don't forget our little furry friends. Don't leave them out. I'd throw that in there, or Trixie'd never forget me. So y'all, take care. And may God bless you, your friends and family and loved ones. Till we see you on the next one. Goodbye for now. Ooh, it's getting chilly. Sun's getting low in the trees. Ain't gonna be dark long now. Gonna be rather dark. Well, Trix is waiting. Might want to head her on home. Fire up the old truck. You know. Whew, it's 59 degrees. Little bones getting a little bit chilled. Should have wore my hoodie or a jacket. My mama would be getting all over me now. Well, she's probably looking down at me and saying, you know, I taught him better than that. And she did. And my daddy's probably staring down going, well, you know, Audrey, that boy was always hard-headed. I can see them both nodding their heads right now. Oh. So there's a little old truck. She dirt. And we're going to take care of that too. Later on.